He's got it. And
makes me want to go fishing.
or surfing as he had the other day. Okay.
Swimming.
All right. Well, we are live on the YouTubes.
YouTube.
Awesome.
And I think that's a very good idea.
I got the backup.
All right. Let's see. I think I got two that are. There we go. All right, everybody. So great to see each and every one of you again here on day number 11. And, I'm going to ask everybody to make sure they mute themselves. I thought we had already done that. So thank you very much for doing so. This is.
Oh, what happened?
Okay, you got me this time. This is an amazing series when you think about it. I mean, first of all, the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, is incredible. It packs so much of a punch in a small package. But yet, when you even unpack it more like what we are doing now in this Mastering the Science of Getting Rich series with Robert Hollis, you become more involved, you understand it more, you become more. And as Robert says, once you know, you can't go back. You already know. So that's the beauty of what we are doing here with Mastering the Science of Getting Rich. And up to this point, we've only talked about the certain way as it related to other chapters. I'm talking about here in this series. I mean, we've talked about the certain way in other places, but for right now in this series, as it relates to other chapters, including it being a part of the first principle of the Science of Getting Rich in chapter 4. Well, today we are going to the next level with the certain way. This is chapter 11 in Mastering the Science of Getting Rich, acting in the certain way, and how important it is. And to share with us how important it is, this is a man who literally has success leaving clues, because he has taken that success bus and boarded it, learned about it, and is now driving it. And he wants everybody to jump on, because when you get better, he gets better. When he gets better, you get better. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And there is a reason why he is a mentor. He is a guide, and he is our dear friend. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with Robert Hollis.
Thank you so much, Craig. And I just love and appreciate each and every one of you. I told Ted that I was doing a Craig talk. And hey, did you see me? I already messed up, so I just kept going, But I was telling Craig that I said in one of my recent visions, I was standing in front of a lot of people doing a TED talk. And so that's going to happen. And usually when I dream things, it happens pretty quick. So now what would I be talking a TED talk about? I don't know. But I do believe that so far I feel like I've led by example and teaching people how to take a pretty awful life and make it a better life. And I feel like I'm not even close to being done. So it's exactly. So before we do this acting in a certain way, I just wanted you to know that a lot of you are already pretty good actors. So maybe you can adapt yourself to being and acting a certain way. All right. So let's go ahead. And I almost did what I did yesterday, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. So here we go. So let's go.
Chapter 11, Acting in the Certain Way. Thought is the creative power or the impelling force which causes the creative power to act. Thinking in a certain way will bring riches to you, but you must not rely upon thought alone, paying no attention to personal action. That is the rock upon which many otherwise scientific metaphysical thinkers meet shipwreck, the failure to connect thought with personal action. We have not yet reached the stage of development, even supposing such a stage to be possible, in which man can create directly from formless substance without nature's processes or the work of human hands. Man must not only think, but his personal action must supplement his thought. By thought, you can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled toward you, but it will not mine itself, refine itself, coin itself into double eagles, and come rolling along the roads, seeking its way into your pocket. Under the impelling power of the Supreme Spirit, men's affairs will be so ordered that someone will be led to mine the gold for you. Other men's business transactions will be so directed that the gold will be brought toward you, and you must so arrange your own business affairs that you will be able to receive it when it comes to you. Your thought makes all things, animate and inanimate, work to bring you what you want. But your personal activity must be such that you can rightly receive what you want when it reaches you. You are not to take it as charity, nor to steal it. You must give every man more in use value than he gives you in cash value. The scientific use of thought consists in forming a clear and distinct mental image of what you want, in holding fast to the purpose to get what you want, and in realizing with grateful faith that you do get what you want. Do not try to project your thought in any mysterious or occult way with the idea of having it go out and do things for you. That is wasted effort and will weaken your power to think with sanity. The action of thought in getting rich is fully explained in the preceding chapters. Your faith and purpose positively impress your vision upon formless substance, which has the same desire for more life that you have. And this vision, received from you, sets all the creative forces at work, in and through their regular channels of action, but directed toward you. It is not your part to guide or supervise the creative process. All you have to do with that is to retain your vision, stick to your purpose, and maintain your faith and gratitude. But you must act in a certain way so that you can appropriate what is yours when it comes to you, so that you can meet the things you have in your picture and put them in their proper places as they arrive. You can really see the truth of this. When things reach you, they will be in the hands of other men who will ask an equivalent for them. And you can only get what is yours by giving the other man what is his. Your pocketbook is not going to be transformed into a Fortunatus purse, which shall be always full of money without effort on your part. This is the crucial point in the science of getting rich, right here, where thought and personal action must be combined. There are very many people who consciously or unconsciously set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires, but who remain poor because they do not provide for the reception of the thing they want when it comes. By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. Whatever your action is to be, it is evident that you must act now. You cannot act in the past, and it is essential to the clearness of your mental vision that you dismiss the past from your mind. You cannot act in the future, for the future is not here yet, and you cannot tell how you will want to act in any future contingency until that contingency has arrived. Because you are not in the right business or the right environment now, do not think that you must postpone action until you can get into the right business or environment. And do not spend time in the present taking thought as to the best course in possible future emergencies. Have faith in your ability and meet any emergency when it arrives. If you act in the present with your mind on the future, your present action will be with a divided mind and will not be effective. Put your whole mind into present action. Do not give your creative impulse to original substance and then sit down and wait for results. If you do, you will never get them. Act now. There is never any time but now, and there never will be any time but now. And if you are ever to begin to make ready for the reception of what you want, you must begin now. And your action, whatever it is, must most likely be in your present business or employment, and must be upon the persons and things in your present environment. You cannot act where you are not. You cannot act where you have been, and you cannot act where you are going to be. You can act only where you are. Do not bother as to whether yesterday's work was well done or ill done. Do today's work well. Do not try to do tomorrow's work now. There will be plenty of time to do that when you get to it. Do not try by occult or mystical means to act on people or things that are out of your reach. Do not wait for a change of environment before you act. Get a change of environment by action. You can so act upon the environment in which you are now as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. Hold with faith and purpose the vision of yourself in the better environment, but act upon your present environment with all your heart and with all your strength and with all your mind. Do not spend any time in daydreaming or castle building. Hold to the one vision of what you want and act now. Do not cast about seeking some new thing to do or some strange, unusual, or remarkable action to perform as a first step toward getting rich. It is probable that your actions, at least for some time to come, will be those you have been performing for some time past. But you are to begin now to perform these actions in the certain way which will surely make you rich. If you are engaged in some business and feel that it is not the right one for you, do not wait until you get into the right business before you begin to act. Do not feel discouraged or sit down and lament because you are misplaced. No man was ever so misplaced but that he could not find the right place, and no man ever became so involved in the wrong business but that he could get into the right business. Hold the vision of yourself in the right business with the purpose to get into it, and the faith that you will get into it and are getting into it. But act in your present business. Use your present business as the means of getting a better one, and use your present environment as the means of getting into a better one. Your vision of the right business, if held with faith and purpose, will cause the Supreme to move the right business toward you, and your action, if performed in the certain way, will cause you to move toward the business. If you are an employee or wage earner and feel that you must change places in order to get what you want, do not project your thought into space and rely upon it to get you another job. It will probably fail to do so. Hold the vision of yourself in the job you want while you act with faith and purpose on the job you have, and you will certainly get the job you want. Your vision and faith will set the creative force in motion to bring it toward you, and your action will cause the forces in your own environment to move you toward the place you want. In closing this chapter, we will add another statement to our syllabus. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants, and hold this picture in his thoughts with the fixed purpose to get what he wants, and the unwavering faith that he does get what he wants, closing his mind to all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. That he may receive what he wants when it comes, man must act now upon the people and things in his present environment.
Nice, 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 nice. The one thing that I'll say in this one is just the whole concept of now. I never really counted them, but now is said a lot of times in this chapter. And one of the things that I think that's really, really important is I was sharing with Lisa Marie and her husband today, is that, you know, when Thomas Edison was asked, is it true that you failed 10,000 times in creating the light bulb? And the response was, no, I never failed. I just found out 10,000 ways it wouldn't work. And the reason that it's important to understand that statement is that every idea, like we're going through the chapters of this book, every idea brings you to another idea. You know, other thoughts bring you to other thoughts. And so if I could sum this up for all of you, it would be each and every day you should be uplifting and connecting with strangers to put them in a better place. And I do that with The Science of Getting Rich. I also do that with The Greatest Miracle in the World by Og Mandino. And so it doesn't make a difference what I'm doing. If I'm doing personal coaching, if I'm in, you know, if I'm an affiliate, if I'm in network marketing, it doesn't make a difference. Every one of them have people. You can't do anything huge without people, right? And so, you know, the company that I'm currently involved in did a big sale, right? And I don't mean to be mean to people, but what you have been doing each and every day was a result of whether or not you got a harvest or not. So when 420 launches, and Terry and I did 316,000 in volume in one day. 316,000 in volume in one day. Believe it or not, my biggest day was over 720,000 in volume in one day. And what did it have in consistency? Each and every day, I was reaching out to strangers and getting them in the right heart space and right mindset. Then I got them to introduce me to people that they knew so I can show them how to get a paycheck. And so my goal has always been all day, every day, I'm connecting and talking to strangers. Because the bigger that I have my influence, the bigger and the more the group that I have that is clicking into me, I know a lot of people that are only with me for a season. Does that make sense? And so that was the hardest thing that I could get a hold of. And so one of the things that you can ask my son about is how fast, well, Craig would know this, Melody would know this, is I can change on a dime. Eric would know this. It's like all of a sudden, you guys have me reach out and this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing now. And that was the reason for the video. So Lisa Marie and her husband and I was talking about where there's this mentality that you spend so much effort and time. And I shared it with Lisa Marie about, you know, I used to be this way. I used to be this way, right? So I would do exactly what my mentor taught me to do. And he would say, Robert, make me a donut. This is an analogy. And I would make the donut exactly the way he told me to make the donut. And then I would come to him and show him what I was doing. And he goes, Robert, now put sprinkles on it. And I would get pissed off. I would tear apart the donut, throw the donut in the garbage can, going, I did everything exactly the way you told me, and now it's different. And his perspective was, all you needed to do is reach in that canister with sprinkles and sprinkles on it. You know, I didn't say what you were doing was wrong. Why do we hear when someone says, well, now do this? And we immediately hear, so everything I've been doing up to this point is wrong, and I've been doing it all wrong. And now, you know, you hear this phrase, why do we say it? I say it. God dang it, now I got to start over. I got to rebuild. So everything that I've done before this is awful, is wrong. Why do we think that? No, times change, so we got to change. So it was me consistently understanding that regardless of what I do in my life, I need a lot of people. And those people also need me. So as long as I need people and people need me, then I consistently can build a group of people. And it's never starting over. It's just getting gooder. It's just getting gooder. Now, one other thing that I think is very important about this chapter, again, if you read this chapter and he keeps telling you that you need to get rid of the past and you need to stop thinking about the future. Is that confusing when you're supposed to be locked into a vision that you're looking forward to? Let me tell you why. Dr. Dana brought this up in another chapter. Is if you can be more general of, I have enough money flowing into me where I'm able to take care of more children and more orphans. And because I have that much money flowing in, I can also take care of my family. And because of the amount of cash flow that I can generate, I can really honestly live anywhere I want. I can drive wherever I want. I can travel wherever I want. I can get whatever I want for the people that I love. And so if the universe is out there and is putting this plan together for me, that plan could change. Oh, man. What if things like in the previous chapters, that there's not something that is not invented yet? So the creator is smart enough to know that when this is created and I can use it, that I might have to change my path. You following me? So I could put all my views into saying, I want to build an orphanage in India, in this city, when the goal was for me to support 25,000 orphans. See, I get locked into that vision, and the school might end up in another country, in another city, and it would support 30,000. No. I put a lot of effort and time and thinking, and that school is in India, in this city. Now I'm tying someone's hands. Now I want this thing to happen in my life, but I'm not open-minded to allow the universe and what God created to do the work for me. Why? Because I'm taking too much control of it. So my goal is to find two groups of people. People of the same mindset and people that want that mindset. And I always get notices that I'm doing the right thing when I get the message like I got from Matt Hall. Here's a guy, not my group, reached out to me, just like numerous people. You know, Tony and Mike Kupas that own ACN, Josh Brown you know, one of the top, Alex Morton, two of the top people in another company. There's top people like David Rutch. There's people like that are Jovan Kabasig, are people that I shared this mentality with. They're making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they have nothing to do with my current vision and goal. But what if I needed them? What if the time and effort that I put into them and I got myself in a situation and then pop, 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 pop. So there's been things in my life where all of a sudden I'm going, oh my God, can I share one with you guys that we're getting to the part of the book where you guys are going to go, oh my God, I can't believe this. Yeah, because it really is out of your dimensions. So Lisa Marie brought up something to me today, and I had this guy that I met, and he was telling me how I could structure my companies and all my cash flow to be a little bit better of a tax haven. And when I listened to him, and the guy that introduced me to him was a pretty cool guy, and I went, all right, this was probably, I would say 2001, right? And he comes to me and he said, we're going to do this and form this corporation and do this foundation. I went, this sounds awesome. And he says, I'm willing to help you do this stuff. So he said, the first thing we got to do is we got to take your vehicles and we got to change them from your personal name into your foundation. I said, wow, okay. So I give him a clean title to Terry's brand new Escalade. I don't even think Escalades were then. It was a brand new Suburban, I think. And he leaves. And he doesn't come back. And he won't return any calls. And I'm in Aliso Viejo, for lack of better words, on fire. I mean, wow. It's starting to get emotional for me right now. And out in front of our house on the side of the street is just beat up Nissan pickup. And I'm like, you gave me that truck. That's Terry's truck. I want it back. You know, he lives in Fresno. He gave you his business card. Went over, went in my office, grabbed his business card, went out, hot wired that Nissan pickup. I'm a mechanic. I'm on my way to Fresno, not having a clue where I'm going, but a very clear focus and vision. You guys following me? All right. So I go to the address. It doesn't exist. So now I'm standing out on a sidewalk and the address is not there. And instead of getting upset, instead of getting angry, instead of going, oh, woe is me, how stupid am I? I went, I'm still listening. I'm still listening. And I just knew I needed to start walking down this sidewalk. I walked down the sidewalk and I'm starting to get to an intersection. And I start stepping out in the intersection and I turn to my left and here comes our Suburban. What is the timing of this? I still, when I tell you guys the story, if some of you are going, he's just making this up. I get it. I get it, but I have a police report that I can show you. So I start walking across the street just like a normal person would walk across the street. And when the vehicle pulls up, the Suburban, the brand new Suburban, I don't know who's in this. It's not the guy that took it. And so I waved at him and he waved back at me. And I just said, I'm lost. And I told him to roll down his window. He rolled down his window and I said, yeah, I'm a little lost. Can you help me out? Could you do me a favor? And he's like, sure. I walked up to the door and yanked this poor guy out of the window. All right. Now, people are watching this happen. So I jumped through the window, put it in park, grabbed this guy, pulled him out of the window. And people are seeing it. So this is a carjacking. Are you guys following me? All right. And so I'm just holding them down on the ground and I'm saying, who are you? And he goes, my name's so-and-so. I don't even remember. And I said, why are you driving my truck? He goes, I just bought it. I got the title. And I said, okay. All of a sudden, there were so many cop cars that pulled this intersection. It was, and fortunately, I've had some experience. And so they come flying in and I put my hands behind my back. I mean, I dropped to the floor, lay on my stomach and put my hands behind my back. Didn't move. Next thing I know, I got a knee in my back and they're handcuffing me and I'm not moving. I'm not saying anything. And so they picked me up and I just said, that's my vehicle. And this guy's driving it. And he goes, okay. So they called the guy, the captain or whatever, to come down and see this. As soon as he comes down, he looks at me and he goes, he tells the other police officers, he said, listen, he said, I want some privacy with this guy. He goes, tell me what the hell's going on. I said, I am an idiot. I gave this truck to a guy. He said he was going to register it and put in my corporate name. And he stole my vehicle. And he goes, how did you find this truck? I said, I asked God for help. I didn't know what to do. He goes, that's good enough for me. So he says, I'm going to do one thing. You're either going to jail or you're getting your truck and driving out of here. I'm going to call on this mic thing here. I'm going to call in the plates on that truck. If it's registered to you, I'm uncuffing you and you can go. We'll figure out this guy and whoever took advantage of him later. But if that registration is not to you, you're going to jail. I said, I understand, sir. He calls it in, came back, car registered, Robert Hollis, Lisa Vallejo. He said, turn around, unlocked my handcuffs, got in the truck, drove off. So why did I tell you that story? Because I acted now. My first thing is not to let my emotions get a hold of me. My first thing is to drop to my knees and ask for help. Because this thing has gotten me in a lot of trouble. So when I let my emotions get a hold of me, and I let the outside world get a hold of me, and I allow other people and other events to get a hold of me and take me out of my connection with my creator, things don't go well for Robert Hollis. So when I get weirded out and I start going in the headspace and my emotions start going, I immediately go, hey, I surrender. I surrender. I'm listening. I'm listening. There's only one way to listen. Shut up. Ask for help and shut up. So, in this chapter, going from doing action every day, all day, knowing that the action that you do all day, every day by improving other people's lives is going to allow you to get that harvest. As soon as you stop connecting with people and helping people, your well will dry up. Your well will dry up. So regardless of the religion that you believe in or the belief that you have, it says, speak to those that have ears to hear. Go to every end of the earth, speaking to every ear that has the present to hear. So when some of you don't have your things going well, and you think of a great vision out there, and you want to make it happen, Buddy's place. Understand, if you don't reach out to people, give them something of value so they know, like, and trust you, and then share with them, could you do me a huge personal favor? You're missing it. So that's what the now is. The now is people go, well, if I really don't know what my purpose is, and I really don't know what my passion is, and I really don't know what my calling is, and I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't really know what I want, then why should I go into action? It's the opposite. It's the opposite. Everything we know in our program, you could just very simply say, what the hell is the opposite of this? What is the opposite of why I'm upset? Because if you're upset, frustrated, confused, mad, everything, then just do the opposite of what you're doing right now. So the world says, give me money, give me resources, give me love, give me appreciation, give me support, give me, then I'll act. And when you give me and then I'll act, then I'll have. And when I have, then I'll be happy. I'll be fulfilled. Now, I don't know who the hell told you that. You got to be the wonderful becoming. You got to be, then do, then have. So you get excited. You picture your vision of where you're going. You know that it incorporates people. And now you need to start sowing seed. And you're happy to sow seed because the vision that you have, you know that if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And the Wallace Wattles wrote another book called I think it's The Science of Being Great. And he says the way to greatness is the service of many. So you don't know the road that you have to do. And he uses Abraham Lincoln as an example. But Abraham Lincoln didn't get to read a book or meet a guy and talk to a mentor on how to abolish slavery. Nah, he was elected. That was his deal. Did he have opposition? Oh, yeah, he had opposition. And people fought and killed their families over the opposition. But whenever a conversation comes up, who is the greatest president, regardless of your beliefs, he's mentioned. He would be the GOAT. One of the GOATs. Would you guys agree? So there you go. So now we'll open it up and answer questions, but every day you need to be connecting with people and the benefit and value for them, not you. Connecting with people and thinking if you did this, they'll do that. That's unrealistic expectations. You just, hey, did you plant enough seed? I don't know why I'm not getting a harvest. How much seed are you planting? I'm getting ready to get ready. I think I'm planting the seed wrong. Just plant the seed. You'll learn how to get better at it. People don't want to fail because it's somebody else's label of failure. If that's what you think failure is, you need to change your definition. In my opinion, the only way to fail is quit. And not quit what you're currently doing. Quit focusing on your vision. That's quitting. And allow other things to get exposed to you to make that dream come true. Okay, Craig.
Wow. And you kind of led me right up again to where I was going to make a comment here. The one thing that comes to mind is Master Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try.
Just
And
do.
yeah, just do. Well, Nike made that with their slogan, just do. I mean, it says in the chapter, thought is the creative power or the impelling force which causes the creative power to act. Thinking in a certain way will bring riches to you, but you must not rely on thought alone. Paying no attention to personal action. Thought and personal action must be confirmed, or must be combined, I should say. And then have faith in your ability and act appropriately. Act now. And especially in this case, acting in a certain way, at least to me, means doing the things you want now. And if you're not where you want to be right now, which is explained in this chapter, start trimming the sails of your boat in the direction of where you want to go, where you want to be, and start moving in that direction. You know, still using the vehicle or the place where you are now, but start moving in the direction you want to be.
Yeah.
And that's a foundation here in this chapter. You're not where you want to be right now. Use where you are now and start turning in that direction. It may be slow, it may take time, but do it and do it now. Your vision and faith will guide you in the direction. And it says that you may receive what you want when it comes. You must act now upon the people and things in your present environment. It says it right there. So if you're where you want to be right now, fantastic. If you're not, it's going to take a little bit of time, but tack those sails in the right direction and move in that direction, and then things will happen.
One example that I think is, we've heard this a lot, with Howard Stern. I think Craig brought up that story. I don't remember if it was in this series, but also Joe Rogan. And so the goal is, hey, I'd like to hang out with a bunch of people that and interview people that know a lot about the things that I'm interested in. That's Joe Rogan. That they were asking him, what are you going to do about your podcast? He goes, well, there's a lot of things that I want to know about, and I want to interview the experts that know everything about that and ask them questions, and then that's what I'll build in a podcast. So that was something that he created. And then all of a sudden, someone gives him a call and says, hey, we'll give you $600 million if you move your podcast to Spotify. That was not in his business plan. So how many people realize that happened pretty quick? Depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. So when you do your first podcast and there's 8 people on it, that should I keep doing podcasts? Should that's like I call a bunch of people. No one wants to be on my podcast. The first thing they ask is, how many people do you have as viewers? 2. I got 2. Who are the 2? My spouse, she shows up there for support, and my son, he's on there. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing the videos, and you got to keep focusing and helping people. And then all of a sudden your influence grows. And then all of a sudden you get one person, and next thing you know, you got 1 million followers. Right, Corky? And you don't know what it's supposed to be. You just start doing it. And, me and my son are having a blast right now because we're not only doing this series, but we're adding, videos constantly on YouTube. And it's like our YouTube is just like going just like this. Do you guys believe it's the content? Good question. It could or could not be, depending on the person you talk to. I do know one thing, I'm planting seeds and I'm servicing others. I am providing value. Because if this was so good, and I always used to say this about live meetings, and please, when I say this statement, I'm not trying to guilt you at all. But when I found my mentor and he was sharing this stuff with me, man, I brought new people every day. So you got these people that go to church and they just show up and they go to church and they get the message and they go home. If this was incredible information, why isn't there more people on here every time we do another one? I know you're waiting to get the information before you end. As soon as I get all the information, and then I may or may not apply it or execute it. And then I'm going to wait to see what my results are before I start sowing seeds. See, I'm not that guy. I met this guy. He said, I can show you how to make $62,000 a month. And I went, are you serious? Yeah. He goes, do you know anyone that needs to make money? I'll be all right, but I'll be right back. People would ask me, what is this? I just know you need to listen to this, dude. Okay. So Craig, thank you again. You get me on tangents.
Well, that's the whole idea for everybody here sharing, is that we are masterminding. And, that's the beauty of this series, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that are watching, especially here on Zoom or on YouTube, we want to mastermind this book because of how impactful it is. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you get our information always, and especially that little bell next to the subscribe button. Hit that so that you're notified when we come on with some new material or go live. And then, of course, share this video with everybody so that we all can master the science of getting rich. Now, we have a few people with their hands raised. For those of you who'd like to raise your hand and share, go ahead and put your cursor in the middle of the screen. This is for our Zoom people, so they can share information and share their thoughts and feelings. Then on the bottom, you'll see a reactions button. Click on the reactions button, then click on raise hand. It will notify us that you have something to share, and we will call upon you. Like I am going to call upon John Tier, Eric Markham, but first, before we get to those gentlemen, and probably Dana Scranton at the very end, he's laying low until we get there. Mr. Bill Shoemaker, you are up first. Your hand was raised first, so please open up and share with us.
Thank you, Craig. You are awesome, my brother. Thank you so much. Robert, wow, you just give us the keys to the kingdom. That's what you do. I mean, this is it. This is it. I'm wearing this shirt today, Pittsburgh Steelers, because my dad raised me as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan when I was a little boy. And all my life, I bled black and gold, is a saying, right? And I know everything, the history, and spent so much time involved in it. And the realization is that I wasted a lot of time.
Well, hey, Bill, so you don't feel bad. When I was young and trying to look for any connection with my dad, my biological dad, and my grandpa, they were Dallas Cowboys fans. Right. So there was a time where being a Steeler fan and a Cowboys fan was very, very good place to be.
Oh, yeah. So my point is, Robert, is now I realize what I did and where it got me. Now I bleed the science of getting rich.
Yes.
That's it. That is it. So
Yeah, when you take all your focus and everything and put it in another direction, we all are pretty powerful. There's a lot of people out there. I never even thought about asking an AI, what percentage of the human brain do humans use? And it probably says, they don't. But there was a phrase, I don't remember if it was Mark Twain or who it was, that used to, he would actually say this, and I found this offensive. He goes, a majority of the people on the planet think they think. They think they think. They don't really think. So, we try to come up with an original thought. Think about that alone. Is there something that you can attribute to that was an original thought that you had, that no one else had it? That's pretty crazy. So, Bill, I'm so proud of you, because when you can focus on the service of others and just say, listen, I'm just going to make a goal that I'm going to get as many people as I can plugged into this information. And then what I'm going to do is apply that information. And as I get results, I'm going to help other people get results that plug into this information. You won't have to worry about money, because it's already been documented that the people that sow these seeds make a lot of money.
there you go.
And so, hey, Freddie.
Thank you, Robert.
You bet. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you so much, Bill. Great share. Let's move on. Eric Markham. Hello,
Woo-hoo!
Eric. Glad that you're with us, and please open up and share.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Eric. How are you, man?
I'm blessed, highly favored. Thank you, and deeply loved.
How long have we known each other?
I met you in 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
You too. Okay, my question is, of course, I have to always, to help understand it better, I have to tell you in a biblical way. Okay, know what I'm saying?
So are you saying you're leaning on your own understanding?
I'm not leaning on my own understanding.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So in Mark 11, it says this. It says, believe you have received it, and it will be yours. So in the thing we're talking about today, with the science of getting rich, it says act in a certain way. I don't know how to act in that certain way when it's like I'm living a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not at that place. So how do you act in that certain way? That's my question.
I love that you use the scripture. So here's the whole thing. You guys, the principles that I'm teaching you here are things that I've taught churches. All right. So I was a part of Creflo Dollar's church when it was a small building, and then we had overflow because we built a gymnasium, and it went from that to a giant dome that could seat 20,000 people. So at the beginning, what you do, Eric, is that I don't look at myself as a biblical scholar. And at that time, I didn't look at myself as being charismatic or really having a testimonial that could convert anybody. But I knew Creflo did. Are you following my point? So what I would do is I still acted in the now. And I would teach people to walk up to people and say, hi. Hi. I was wondering if you could do me, my name's Robert. I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. I'd really appreciate it. Okay. Who do you know right now needs more love, more joy, and more peace and connection in their life? That sounds pretty good. Listen, I have this new person that's mentoring me, And he's helped me get these things, and I'm working on it. I'm new. And his name is Eric Markman. The guy's got a heart of gold. Is there any way possible that I could set up a time to introduce you to Eric? I'd love to meet him. What are you doing Wednesday? Nothing. I'd like to meet you someplace, and I'd like to take you over and introduce you to Eric. So if people were asking me, what is this? Eric is going to tell you. Because I didn't want to answer questions, because back then in my young spiritual world, my spiritual life, I second guessed and overthinked everything, Eric. So am I doing this right? Am I answering the questions? What if I do this wrong? And geez, what if I do it wrong and I mess it up so bad, this person even misses salvation? I mean, that's a little higher than getting rich. So the certain way was for me to consistently each and every day connect with new people, get them to know, like, and trust me, and then share with them a person or some information or wisdom that I could introduce them to. So I've never been lost. Whether I'm teaching a group of people how to build the congregation to their church, it's the same basics. See, it's like, WIFM, what's in it for me? So I was always leading with connecting and then asking them a question or sharing with them something I could do for them. And me personally, my personality is not a direct individual. I'm not a sales type. So that's why I would always ask people who they knew. Do you know anyone that would want more peace, more joy, more love, more connection in their life? Did I get people that said, I don't know anybody? All the time. So instead of getting frustrated, I remember that it said, just go to every end of the world, sharing the story, and speak to those that have ears to hear. So I knew that the universe that God created was watching to see if I was planting seeds or not. And he already knows my heart. And he knows my desire for helping children. So I need to plant seeds and reap the harvest. Did that help you?
It did. Thank you so much.
You bet. So once you ask and you receive, now start planting seeds. So it's yeah. How many people like that? So I didn't give the same canned response to every one of you. I don't know if you noticed that, be open to interpretation and help. I'm going to talk Eric's language. And for those of you that don't know a lot about Eric is so led that he can pull into a driveway just because he's told to, or pull in a parking lot just because he's told to. And then he'll pull up and he'll park, and then he'll see someone, and this guy will park his van, walk out to somebody, and walk right up to him and say, can I pray for you? And they'll go, yes, please. That's how guided this guy is on the spiritual level. Then he gets over here in this realm and he thinks that it's different. It's not. We're doing the same thing, Eric. And so that's why I felt like I needed to say this quick part. Eric, if you keep doing what you're doing and you get people to know, like, and trust you, if you say, well, what other ways can I serve you? And they go, man, I need to find a job, or I need to find a better job. I need to find a way to take care of my family. Remember how I hooked you up with Pastor Dean? Yeah. Well, I got another guy for your financial side. That's Dr. Robert. Well, can you tell me what it is? Hey, I wouldn't be driving that van if I wouldn't be driving that van if I was following what he was teaching me. Well, why aren't you? Well, I overthink it, complicate it, and not make it as easy as it is to talking to you about, God healing you. So, love you, Eric. I wish I was there to give you a bear hug.
Eric, thank you so much. Great share. I see we got John Tier's hand up and Dana Scranton's hand up. But just as a reminder for those watching on YouTube, please like this video. Subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed. And share this video. This series of the Mastering of the Science of Getting Rich is so important, so valuable. Start from chapter 1 and go all the way up, get caught up, and continue forward, because there's so much still left. And what a journey. I'm going to ask everybody who's with us right now, is this good? Is this good? Yeah. Double hands up. I totally agree. And bless you, Robert. Thank you so much for being our master in mastering the science of getting rich.
The master's mind.
The master's mind. Indeed. All right, John Tier, let's go ahead and open you up. Please share with us.
Hey. Man, this is some good stuff here, boy, I tell you. Good stuff here. Man, I got a little bit of a testimony, man, about giving out the science of getting rich and then asking for the favor. And I've had 2 people today ask me to see what business that I'm in, so there it is,
Yeah.
there it is. The thing I like about this chapter really is that if you're not in the business that you think you should be in, act anyway. And it reminds me of a scripture. There's a scripture in the Old Testament that says, bloom where you're planted.
Yes.
And so that's what it reminds me of. You take action exactly where you are, and it's going to lead you to where you need to be, if this is not where you need to be. And that's all I really wanted to say about that.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
Yep.
One of the things that it was so funny, I was going to talk a little more after Craig just spoke, and right away I was guided to let John speak first. Isn't that funny? And think about this. For those of you that watch this video, listen closely. Big piece of information here. The goal is to serve mankind. People always say, I don't know what my passion is. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my calling is. Here's my magic. And I know if you listen to this and get this, if you currently don't know what seed to sow, then help somebody else sow their seed.
Yeah.
Okay. So here I am, an auto mechanic, so broke I can't pay attention, not living with my wife, not living with my kid, in an apartment being evicted, hiding my car from a repo man. And I was pretty stupid back then. Not only was my ego too big to ask for help, but then because I felt like I couldn't provide, I had to push away everything that I loved. So now I'm not only in the worst place that I could possibly be, but I'm also isolated in the freaking dark. It's like, just keep driving it in the ditch. Once it starts going in the ditch, just keep going. What's that thing? It's like, oh my God, my life's a living hell. Don't stay there. Just keep walking.
Yeah.
If you're in hell, keep walking until you get out of hell. Don't stay there and admire it. Oh my God, I'm in hell. Move. In the Lord's Prayer, it says, heaven on earth. You can create heaven on earth and thinking the certain way. So when I meet this guy, my mentor, both my mentors, when they started feeding into me and changing who I was, me becoming a better person, the way my life excelled is because I did plant seeds every day, getting people in front of the people that were making my life change. I did not make myself the issue. It was nothing about me. So if I can learn from this person and I can consistently put people in front of this person and they can get the knowledge from them, I believe that I'll get a harvest. And it works every time. It works every time. To now I'm following people and then I see how they leveled up and they got bigger and they got bigger and they got bigger. You guys, when I first spoke for Eric Worre, he had like 300 people in the audience. Do you guys hear this? And I flew to Las Vegas. I paid my own airfare. I paid my own hotel room, my own meals to go help Eric Worre because he asked me to. Next thing I know, I'm on stage. Next thing I know, I'm a speaker. Next thing I know, I'm closing out the event. Next thing I know, I'm on his DVDs. None of that would have happened. I wouldn't have been an anchor speaker at Association of Network Marketing Professionals. I wouldn't have spoke for Ray Higdon, the Miltons. I got to speak for all those people because I sowed seed into Eric Worre's dream first. Craig knows me at the time. Melody knows me at the time. Some of you, Eric knew me at the time. I was making more money when I was helping Eric Worre than any time in my career, except for now. Did you guys hear that? So I went, wow, maybe my next step is seminars. Maybe my next step is being a generic network marketing person. See, I'm throwing out my vision. Maybe the next direction is I'm going this direction. And then as I help Eric build that, no, I do not want to be a seminar teaching generic network marketing stuff. Why, Robert? Well, it wasn't me. It was the other 10 people that were speaking on stage that were teaching stuff that should never be taught in front of a group of people. It's my pet peeve. So I all of a sudden, when I can't endorse other speakers standing up here just because they made money, and then they're confusing everyone in the audience. I can't be a part of this. So I thought, well, I can do all my own personal coaching. So then I paid Ray Higdon $48,000. Why would I pay Ray Higdon $48,000? He's never built a big group in network marketing. He says he was a top producer of a company. He was. The company was doing, I was doing more in 3 days in volume than that company did in its entire existence. No big deal. But when I sat down with him and Jessica and I said, yeah, I want you guys to teach me how to do this blog thing. And I want to build an audience. And I don't want to teach network marketers. I want to teach other people the science of getting rich. That's what I want to do. And so my whole family jumps in with me. Matt is doing the video editing. As soon as I get done with the video, Terry does the transcribing of the video. We're loading it up. We called it Success in Minutes. Hated every day of it. Hated every day of it and did it anyway. And when I stopped it, there was a lot of people that were really upset with me. Are you guys listening to me? So the act in the now is I got a vision. I believe that that's where I should be going. And I'll put all my effort and action in until I know that's not the direction. They said, hey, you need to be an author. Okay. I hired Brendan Burchard, paid him 10 grand, flew me and Max Miller into his book thing. Did exactly what he told me to do and got a #1 bestseller, was on categories. Do I want to be an author? As soon as I got done and getting this book to #1, I signed the rights over to Max Miller. Max Miller gets the checks every day when people buy this book, not me. I don't want to be an author. So for some of you that are going after something and then going, nah, not that. And then going after something else and I'm not getting results on that. Are you guys hearing me? I'm telling you the stuff that I went, all right, new direction. Let me try this. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. And I was talking to Lisa Marie and Freddie today, and Lisa says, yeah, but I put so much money and effort and time into this. If it doesn't give you joy, gone. It's gone. Wrote a second book. Started going down that track. Now Lori Munson gets all the rights to that book. The point I'm making to you guys is in the now. I've never, ever, ever, ever stopped planting seeds. I've never failed at anything. I've learned a lot of lessons. So when Melody got with me, and she goes, I love coaching this stuff. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm going, awesome. You see, Melody's not a professional network marketer. But she is one of my millionaires. Interesting, huh? Because once she found what she loved, she's focused on that. She actually carved her own little niche called accountability buddy. She was telling everybody, hey, a lot of people say they know that they're supposed to do something. What if I just help them do that thing? And what's Melody's #1 complaint behind everyone's back? Why won't these people just do what they're told? I don't know. Melody, that sounds like a mystery to me. Why they got to add in extra ingredients and do it their own way and work through School of Hard Knocks, I have no idea. But I wanted to throw that on because I knew, John, I just know John's heart. And it was like, listen, there was a time that all of a sudden you figure out what you want to do. And I know that John loves playing the piano. Well, maybe at one time his dream was to be in a band and travel the world. But he still plays piano and he still gets joy from it. He's just not on tour with a band anywhere.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So we find out what gives us joy. What?
With a pretty famous group.
Who'd you play with?
Skylights.
Holy cow, really?
Yeah.
And so why'd you stop?
Well, because I was doing substitute and then somebody else came in and, things change. That's just kind of how the industry is.
But you're still playing piano.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Did you guys hear that? It's like sometimes, man, I'll say this and then we'll get to Dana. I try to be vulnerable as I can with telling you guys my lessons that some people call failures, right? And twice, or was it 3 times? Let's just say twice for now. Do you guys know I've attempted to start my own network marketing company? See, and I just was about ready to say something really stupid. But I stopped. Can I tell you guys what I was going to say, stupid? I was going to say I'm not CEO material. I hate being an owner. But I better be careful because I don't know what the master plan is. Sometimes the thing that you say you hate the most, I don't know if you guys got this. I know that we got a lot of people that have different beliefs here, but I have this phrase: God's got a sense of humor, man. God has got a sense of humor. And I see a lot of affirmation here, a lot of people confirming this. I used to say and make fun of, when I was a mechanic, I made fun of and teased and told everybody how much I hated sales. Hated sales. And the reason I hated sales is I believe that salespeople would do virtually anything with manipulation to get people to give them their money when they knew they shouldn't have had it. Like get them in too expensive of an individual vehicle. And so I tell my story of, you know, all of a sudden this lady's got a noise in the front of her car. She pulls it in. I pull it up on a hoist, pull off the front tires. I can hear the noise. And I pull it out and a rock falls out of the caliper. So there was a rock in the caliper going against the disc. As soon as I took the tire off, it fell off. So I looked at it, didn't damage the rotor or the pads, and she had plenty of brakes. Put it back on, took the work order back to the service writer, and I said, listen, it was just a rock. No big deal. He comes back like 20 minutes later and says, do front brake job on the car. I go, it doesn't need front brakes. And he goes, do the front brakes. So a lot of people don't know that the parts department's always where the customer service is. It's always customer service on one side, parts on the other. So I'm standing there about ready to ask for front brakes, and I look over and there's this girl that she's got to be 24, 25. She's pregnant and she's got a toddler and she's crying. And I walk her on there and I go, are you okay? And she goes, not really. She says, I don't have the money to fix my brakes. And that guy just told me, he goes, God, I thought you looked like a person that cared for your kids.
Wow.
Why would you put your kids in that bad of a predicament with bad brakes? And I looked at her and I said, I'll probably lose my job on this. You can't tell anybody, but you just got to tell them that you got an emergency and you got to leave right away. And don't come back here. And she goes, you're serious? I said, I'm the mechanic working on your car. It's fine. Why did I tell you guys that? Because that's where I started losing my passion for being an auto mechanic. I was one of the best auto mechanics I knew, but I wasn't serving anybody. God had a higher calling for me. So I started losing passion for being a mechanic, and I believe that I still got hurt to this day because I wasn't paying attention. That was just a flat out stupid move. But I don't care. You guys ever been at a job where you just don't care? Like just going through the motions? And so I said, man, I need something better in my life. Got to be careful what you pray for. Because the next thing I'm sitting in an ER room, having a doctor tell me I'll never be a mechanic again. You know, hey, I would have liked the easier transition into this mode.
Yeah.
9 months of getting humbled and surrendering. And now I'm sitting in a meeting and this guy's drawing circles off around. He says, listen, all you got to do is ask them if they want this product. It's amazing. And do they want it at retail, wholesale? Well, wholesale, great. You can become an affiliate, buy it from yourself. And I went, I don't want to be a salesperson. I hate sales. So I go up to my mentor and I go, I'm not a salesperson. And he laughed and he looked at me. He goes, you'll be perfect for this then. And I went, oh, crap. What's coming now? And he's like, listen, this is not about sales. This is about empowering people. Do you like people? I go, I sure do. He goes, I'll teach you stuff. And while you're learning, I'll teach people that you introduce me to, and they'll change their lives forever if they want. I'm listening. So a majority of my career, when I've stepped out and tried to be the deal, I don't like it. And now I'm being called to be the deal again.
You know, Robert, that reminds me of what Jim Rohn says. You become valuable to the marketplace.
Yes. So some of you are going to look for a transition, and I can just guarantee you plant seeds. Usually I don't tell people what to do, but I guarantee you the person that gets the most people to follow this YouTube channel is never going to worry about money again. Hey, I got a YouTube channel for you to check out. I'll send you the 4, 4, 14, and 7. Check it out. And I'm learning directly from this guy. Hey, did you get a chance to watch that? Yeah, I did. Hey, listen, what are you doing next Thursday? Why? I want to introduce you to him. He's doing another Zoom on some other kind of stuff he's doing. So thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had no idea. Did you guys know that John was a keyboard player for a band like that?
No.
Oh, we all got sort of past, don't we? We all got past that we've gone through. So yeah. Okay, Craig, let's let Dana close this out. Dr. Dana.
Yeah, I think we need to. It was a great setup for our closer. Doctor. Well, he's not officially a doctor, but for us, he is a doctor because of all the wisdom he shares.
He's a PhD.
Yes. We appreciate him so very much, ladies and gentlemen. Dana Scranton, please open up your mic and share with us.
Well, I'm open and thank you. Yeah, I'm the wrong kind of doctor. I know I'm not going to tell you to take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning. I'm going to say, go solve 2 differential equations and then get back to me when you know what the heck you're doing. That's my kind of aspirin.
But Dana, you do have a PhD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's Dr. Dana, you guys.
Okay. I stand
one way or
corrected.
the other. Yeah, just
when Dana, one time I asked him to tell me all the stuff that he's done. This guy's got more degrees than a thermostat.
well, not quite, but okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time chasing that stuff and it was fun. Really enjoyed it. God.
Was it fun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know why people, if you guys notice, do you think that Dana enjoys sharing his, I not only will call it wisdom, but like I've said to you guys before, Dana Scranton, I consider him a friend, a family member. We've really gotten to know each other. But, Dana and Max Miller are my compass sometimes, because I'm not as well versed and read as they are. And it's always neat to bounce things off people that have a different perspective. And that's why I love him closing out these. We never even talked about doing that. And we all have different journeys. We all have different things that we bring to the table, and 2 or more minds together, there it is in the midst. So Craig, this is Dr. Dana.
Well,
welcome, Dr. Dana.
Well, this is one of those other great chapters in this book. In fact, I don't think there are any chapters that aren't great. But let me ask you a question. In this title, acting in a certain way, right? And if you read it, it can be a little confusing. But let me just drift back here a moment.
Please.
Let's go back into some of the prior chapters. How about that chapter on gratitude? Do you suppose that acting in that certain way is expressing gratitude in every moment, in everything that you do? And in so doing, you maintain your position, your energy, your emotional state that serves that greater vision that you attach to? Maybe that chapter had something to do with that. How about that chapter on increasing life? adding value to the lives of others. Now, let's say you're an employee and you have a vision, a desire to have your own entity, whatever that may be. You suppose that increasing life as a philosophy, as a belief, has something to do with making your employer successful and at the same time making you successful? That chapter is, starting to get weird, isn't it? How about the right to be rich? Are you the only one with that right? Do you have a role in creating somebody else's riches so their rights are exercised? Every single day, you act in that certain way. That certain way has been taught in the previous chapters. He's set you up to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, there's more to it than that. That's looking at how you contribute to the lives of others and how you kind of sustain your own momentum through gratitude. But I made some notes here. The other thing that it does is it keeps your confidence and your certainty alive. When you are somebody that is in a situation not where you want to be, but you have the opportunity to apply yourself to whatever it is you're doing, when you do that, it sustains confidence that you're worthy, you're deserving, and you're capable in that moment that transfers to the future. Now, here's another mind-bending concept that goes along with this chapter. This chapter is it's like a whirling dervish of ideas. It just spins,
Yeah,
So
it's like you're throwing a bunch of ingredients in and you finally hit the mixer.
Yeah, you got to put a pinch of salt in here somewhere. But the other part of this in acting in that certain way, you hold in your mind the thing that you desire as if it were present today, right? That's the key. When you act in congruence with that, when you act as if, now you don't have that thing, whatever that thing is, but you believe it is here today and your actions are congruent with that. You don't look to the future, as Waddle said. Why don't you look to the future? Because the future hasn't happened yet and it's not part of this thing in your mind. As soon as you cast doubt on yourself that the future isn't here yet, you just screwed yourself. You just set yourself back. Believe as if you have it, act as if you have it, with gratitude and appreciation for every moment that you get to demonstrate your worthiness, your capabilities, your deservingness of that thing, and things will kind of channel in your direction. Here's some of the notes that came out of there. Have you ever been in a restaurant and had some young guy serving you that you would swear owns that restaurant? The way he acts, and then you find that he's just a lowly server. 2 years down the road, happened right here in Whitefish, you run into this kid again acting like he owns the place, and he does.
Yeah.
He opened his own restaurant. Why? That was his vision, and every single day he acted as if. Now, the employer probably really didn't want to see that guy go, especially especially in today's market when you can't hire anybody. I mean, up here in Whitefish, there help wanted signs all over the place. They can't get people to work. And this guy demonstrates this principle. Or how about a little 5'2" gymnast who spends every day in the gym 1,000 times sticking the same landing every day, practicing as if the Olympics were there for that one day when she gets to really do what's been in her mind all along, that she's been every day practicing as if, acting in that certain way. Boom, she sticks it, gold medal. So, and I got a plumber friend. I tell people all over the valley, this guy's the best plumber in the valley. He's bailed us out of more problems than you can possibly imagine. All hours of the day and night, the guy's just incredible. And he's the only guy this plumbing firm has that does this kind of work. Everybody else is off doing commercial jobs. Do you suppose he's going to have his own firm someday? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So these are just some of the ideas I wanted to share with you. It's, acting in that certain way is not difficult when you break it down to gratitude, appreciation, helping others realize their right to be rich, and focusing yourself on adding life in whatever way you can and extrapolating that to the thing you do. It's occupying your attention, your energy. Don't you suppose that's worth something? So you are worthy, and that keeps your confidence, it keeps your certainty alive, and it keeps you from letting things creep in that are negative if you focus on those basic principles as this guy has taught. So anyway, that's my rant.
Dana, that was amazing. For people that have a little difficulty of the future versus now, all right, in the 6-phase meditation, what is phase 4? Phase 4 is visualizing what your life is going to be like 3 years from now. Okay, so think about this. So you're supposed to use all your senses, your feeling, your smell, your taste, your sight, your hearing, your everything, and you're experiencing an event that you and your family are going to have 3 years from now. All right. So now you just did that. And what's phase 5? Now let's visualize your perfect day. Oh, I just went from the future. Now I'm going to what I'm going to do today. So what things do I need to do today to make the dreams that I thought about 3 years from now come to pass? Because it could be something really, really simple. You know, I'll share a crazy one for you guys. One of my favorite songs is Howard Hewitt, Say Amen. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen myself singing that song in front of thousands and thousands of people. Now, I need to get some singing lessons. I've never sung before. You see? And I know I'll know when it's getting to the point of doing that. So I was telling Craig before I jumped on here, and I already said it, is like, here's my little thoughts. Little thoughts, big thoughts. I want to impact 1 million people as fast as I quickly can. I need your help. How do I do that? I need your help. How do I do that? Next day, Max Miller's birthday. Leave him a nice message. I sing happy birthday to people. Not a good singer. And yet, see, you just, all right. And I call Max and I leave him this. He calls me right away. So I pick up the phone. I start talking to him. Like you guys, I could talk to him forever. And just more ideas and more ideas and more ideas and more ideas come up, right? And I was thinking, I had this thought one time of doing a TED Talk. And I am going for a positive statement here. I am going to change the way people feel in that 15-minute talk, and they're never going to be the same. They're going to be impacted. They'll never, ever forget me, ever. And when I do that, tens of millions of people are going to watch it online. And when tens of millions of people watch it online and everyone shares it, then people are going to Google Robert Hollis. And then they're going to find the website and they're going to watch this video. And they're going to go, he spoke this into existence and he's sharing that damn story right here. Because when they see it, they've seen it through the TED Talk. Is this helping you guys? So I got this in my head. And then Max says, hey, the people that I'm living with in Washington, D.C., they're moving to Palm Springs. And he says, so I'm thinking about moving to Palm Springs. And I said, really? What are you going to do there? He goes, you're going to crack up. I said, Max, I know you. And he says, Palm Springs has a chapter there of TED Talks. And I'm thinking about taking over the chapter there to do TED Talks for Palm Springs. Thank you. Thank you. And so by the time I get done with him, I said, well, I always thought of that. And he goes, Robert, you would crush a TED Talk. And I said, well, we'll see how the timing comes together. Are you guys hearing this? So then I said to Max, I said, listen, you know, don't you think it's about time for the new book? Well, see, we got another book, right? So we wanted to write this one first. And the title of the next book is How Do You Know That? That was always going to be the second book. So we're going to write this book based on my Rags to Riches and network marketing. And then we're coming out to with another book to help people to go from rags to riches to whatever they want to do. And the first thing that I got to do is I got to get your thoughts right. I got to get your way of thinking and acting right before you can go into that chapter. Because if you don't get your thinking right and you don't get your emotions right, and you're not believing that you're planting seeds to help others, because it says in phase 6 of the 6-phase meditation, it says, you'll never be happy or fulfilled unless you have something that you can give to humanity to make it better. So it may or may not work for you, but it worked for me. That sometimes learning to be the best follower allows you to turn out to be the best leader. So when I knew when someone was on the money, I would share their stuff. Wallace Waddles. I'm still planting seeds. I'm still planting Wallace Waddles seeds to get people to think right and act right. Because once they learn to think and act right and they believe, then they're finally open to what God wants them to do. Before that, they're too busy steering the frickin' car. It's like you got your creator sitting in the passenger seat, and he really nicely keeps reaching over, and you're knocking his hand away. I got this. Not only do I got this, I even envision in my mind the way it's supposed to happen. And God's over there going like, I don't know how long they're going to keep driving in the wrong direction. And me and Freddie and Lisa Marie had a great talk. And Marie was going like, but I have so much time and money and everything invested in what I'm doing right now. But you hate every minute of it. It doesn't give you joy. You don't see results. So that's Bobby Hollis when he was building the internet company called UPC Sites. I had to let it go. God dang it. I had to get back into network marketing. Did I want to go back to network marketing? Not at that time. So I prematurely started my own business. And when I started my own business, the whole focus was on me, the owner, the idea, the vision, the comp plan, and the products. All of a sudden, it's not about people anymore. It's about selling some stupid tangible thing that has nothing to do with anything. I get back in network marketing and I immediately Get introduced to the secret. This is the path. This is the path. You guys, I used to open up the opportunity presentations with the trailer of the secret. Dun, 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 dun. Do you want to know the secret that all these people know that helped them become successful? Dun, dun, dun. And then the deal would stop and I say, how many people want to know what the secret is to happiness, fulfillment, and success? Me. Right. Let me show you the vehicle I'm in. That lofted me to pro travel. More. That lofted me to Gano Excel. More. Bringing in 20,000 paid members a month. Company fail. Became an author. Became a coach. Building blogs. Building websites. Hated every minute of it. This would be a great time for me to start my own company called Unlimited Profits. And hated it again. That's me steering. So every once in a while, I let the creator and I follow it. And then I'm human and I take the wheel away. Get out. Get out. Let me drive. It's easy for me to tell you guys this now. When I'm doing it, if you set me down and said, Robert, listen, can we just talk? Sure. Do you think you're doing right now what you're supposed to be doing? I prayed, was quiet. Yeah, this is it. Why isn't it fruitful? Why aren't you having any fun? Where's the joy? See, all of you are my friends now, family. When you hear me jumping down people's throats for teaching the wrong stuff, I'm off path. When I'm teaching people like you what to do, instead of complaining what other people are doing, see, now I'm back in the leader role. Because the hard thing about leading is you got to lead. You got to get results. You got to do what you're telling other people to do. So did this help you? So you guys are going to watch this keep forming. But I want to give you a path, not only to follow, but when you're ready, it's time for you to create a following. You learn and plant seeds, but watch me do this. So when you say, oh my God, he had like 4,000 members and now he's got 5,600 people on YouTube. It's like he keeps growing. The members keep growing. I'm going to watch. You guys are going to watch me do it. And now you just got to follow the path. If that's your path. Right? So that went longer than I thought, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Absolutely. In fact, Robert, I think Lisa Marie does want to make a share. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
We good? Okay. Lisa Marie Cook, please open up your microphone along with Fred. And share.
Along with Fred. Fred is here. Okay, thanks for letting me talk, Robert. I'll make this super quick. And you know what? I can see you on TED Talk, and I've envisioned myself there as well. So
yes, good.
And I have. I don't know if this is funny or if I should be really embarrassed, but I sent Dana a message here a couple of days ago after he spoke. You know, he's just been giving amazing value. And I'm looking through my messenger, and here I had invited him 2 years ago, January of 2021, invited him to your academy and tried to gift him the book.
Wow.
And so I don't know if I should be, Yeah, isn't that crazy? I needed to share that.
It's a great testimonial. It's really nothing else, but just a great testimonial.
I thought it was kind of cool, but
It's to me, to you, it's a sign that at that time you were in a different place.
right. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's okay to learn lessons. There's no such thing as failure. Take that
He
out of
must
your
have-
vocabulary. So sometimes what we do is I just shared very intimate things with you guys about me prematurely taking a direction that I thought that was God-led, that was definitely not God-led. And I try to learn faster because when I take the steering wheel away, I get immediate results from it because I'm more aware now. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, all of a sudden it's like, man, this is joyous. Every day is exciting. And it's because it's not a bumpy road, man. It's like it's led. And then all of a sudden, without me thinking, I take the steering wheel away and I'm guiding it. And it feels like we're in an off-road truck. Oh, almost hit that tree. And it's like, these should be signs to turn the steering wheel back over. But no, it's like, hey, I mean, my worst deals were a couple of years, 4 years. Why isn't everything going right? Why is everything I do? Here's the other one, guys. I said this the other day on this video, and I hope you guys are not mad at me when I say this. When I'm on the wrong path, God is protecting people from me. Like, listen, I got some great people for you, but you're driving in the wrong direction. You're not surrendering. You're not being guided. You're trying to take this into your own hands. I don't want you to go that way. And you guys have seen the difference in me only because I just asked a simple question. I was like, do I want to be a master affiliate for My Daily Choice? I think it's going to happen, but it's not my focus. What is your focus? I better read Science Getting Rich Again. I got to figure out what that is. Are you guys see? And it's like, I believe that I'll hit master faster not focusing on it than focusing on it. Did you guys hear that?
Right.
It's like all of a sudden when you turn the steering wheel back, it's like your head stuck against the window because the creator makes an immediate U-turn or a wicked right or wicked left. And it's like, man, I didn't even, what are you doing? It's like, hey, I'm so glad that you gave me the wheel back because it's going to take us a little time just to get back to where we were. And so that all happens when your first thought is either, again, just sowing seed. It's a parable for a reason. And why do you think that we get the examples? That's what I'll close with. Why would the parable of the seed say that some seed will be put on unfertile ground? It will not grow. That's a sign. See? You're sowing the seed correctly, but for some reason it's not growing. It's not being received. Then it says you're also going to plant seed where? In the weeds. And you're going to plug them into the wrong mentors. They're going to have too much weeds growing. It's going to choke them out. Then you finally got it figured out. You throw some seeds and the birds get them. The birds eat some seed. It's like, why does the birds keep taking my seed? part of the journey. My question is why are you complaining about the seeds that didn't grow, that died, the seeds that are choked out, the seeds that the birds got? And why aren't you focused on the seed that's actually growing? Why aren't you taking care of them and making sure they got the right water and the right sunlight and the right encouragement and the right person to follow? Why aren't you taking care of the seeds that are growing, that were planted in good fertile ground? For me, fertile ground is the science of getting rich. I plant seeds in this, and I have evidence of these seeds running multi-million-dollar companies. Got that? So if I ever doubt myself, one of my seeds that are growing calls me. Hey, I'm not, think about that story. He said, I'm not the testimonial you'll use to get people into network marketing. But I am definitely the testimonial you should use to keep people in. Why? Because a lot of the stuff I taught him at the beginning, you wouldn't listen. He finally figured out that maybe Robert knows what he's doing, and now he's got the only prosperous growing leg in that company. So that's what you'll know. You'll know you're doing the right thing when all of a sudden, you know, you're constantly going to get reminded that you planted the right seed in the right soil and that it's actually producing. And so if you believe in the whole tenfold return, I'm telling you, man. I will say one thing. I keep saying, do you guys know, I don't know if I ever shared this, and I think this is going to freak a lot of people out. And I questioned if I'd ever bring it up. But when we first moved Matt and Hannah out to California, I was stuck in an old Penske truck, pulling his Tesla, driving all by myself. And of course, I was stupid to think that the radio would work. So this gave me a lot of alone time. And so I actually said to myself, which some of you will probably won't believe, but I think now that you've been in this part of the secret this long, you guys will get it right away. I hope you do. So I was thinking about my organization. We're going to go rent a place, paid $250,000 to lease it for a year, not including utilities. Going to go out there and just spend some time on the ocean in Laguna Niguel. And I get out there, and while I'm driving, I'm going like, what if I had to teach people what I do? How do I explain to them that I made a decision? Then I told everybody about it. First person that called me up is Melody goes, you're not going there without me. Then Melody says, hey, is there any way you can do a call for my group on Friday? I said, yeah. I called up Josh and Jenna, asked them if they could be on Melody's Zoom. We recorded it. It got seen 119,000 times. Melody went straight to 25K. Next thing I know, this person reaches out to me, Aaron Parker. Now listen to this closely. I did not know Aaron Parker. Aaron Parker reached out to me. And then there was this group called the Popas. They reached out to me. And then I get a call from Stanisha Graham. I told her to put 5 of her best girls on the line, best leaders. And on that line was Candace Bird Davis. They all decided to go back to TLC except Candace. And then Candace became the incredible leader she is. A year later, I get a Facebook Messenger from a guy named Tomas Adam. And he's the person that has, 4,000, 500,000 worth of volume in Europe that's underneath me. How can I explain to you guys that I was planting seeds and doing what I was supposed to the certain way, and every top producer in my group were people that seeked me out? I didn't call them. How do you teach that? Because everyone believes that I attracted all my leaders by piquing their interest and giving away the secret. That's how I found a lot of people. But what about the other people that just find me out of nowhere? Why would that happen to me and not happen to you? Because I know the secret behind the secret. The secret behind the secret is the science of getting rich. And when I'm planting it and I'm focused on it and I'm mentoring people to master it, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things happen. So, see you tomorrow.
Can't add anything more to that except thank you so much, Robert. What an amazing training. Just so blessed to have you here with us. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, please, once again, like this video, share this video with people, and subscribe to the channel. This is what you get when you are participating with us as we are mastering the science of getting rich. Tomorrow, oh my goodness, we take the current acting in a certain way to a newer level. We are going into chapter 12 and talking about efficient action. Not just action, but efficient action. There is a difference, and that's tomorrow. I'd like to thank everybody who shared personally today. We are just so grateful you're here with us and sharing with us. Bill Shoemaker, Eric Markham, John Tier, Dana Scranton, Lisa Marie Cook, and of course, definite props to Matthew Hollis as being our support, our foundation for the mastering of the science of getting rich with Robert Hollis. Please join us.
Give it up for Craig Jackman.
And thank you all very, very much. This is it's an amazing opportunity to share with everybody and with you, and I'm blessed, highly favored, and deeply loved. And it's because of the master here, Mr. Robert Hollis. So thank you all very much for joining us. We're going to be back here again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to join us on Zoom, go to roberthollis.com/live, and then you can become part of what you see here and actually share about the science of getting rich. And until then, please, I'm going to open up the microphone open up the mics for everybody. Be good to yourself, be cash, and bye-bye. There we go. Unmuted.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you. Hi, Melody.
Thank you.
Someone going to sneak out behind Michael there. Hi, Angela.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Robert.
Blessings,
Thank you, Randy.
everyone.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Robert.
Eric.
Bye.
Blessings, everyone.
Love you.
Love you, Mary. Love you.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, Melody. Bye, Daniel. Bye, Danielle.
Amigos.
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 Amigos. Eric, don't get in a wreck.
That's how
All right, love you guys. Thank you,
Thank
Craig.
you.